And we are back to back and we are making another website review, website roast. Now, I wanted to choose this one because it's a very specific problem that this website has that I see quite often. And I highly encourage the detailers or any local business to avoid altogether because it's not going to be as effective as you think it is. And I mean, just in 12 months, you can do all this work to not get any results. So I want to make sure you are steered in the right direction. And you can click the link down below to watch my free training on how I turned my website into a customer generating machine that works 24/7 for me. It took me from a struggling detailer to a fully booked out detailer. And if you want your website to actually produce results and actually get customers from it, I highly recommend you check out the training down below. Let's go ahead and get started. Just like in the last one, I don't have much context. I don't have any context on this person, what they do, how long they've been in business, what they offer, where they live. I'm just going at face value with what I see. So let's go ahead and try to keep this like under 10 minutes. Okay, so first, this is the homepage. So you give the disclaimer. Our website is under construction. That's not bad. And really, like, you don't need, if someone is already landing on your website, instead of like, if you're already getting people to your website, I wouldn't worry about saying I'm under construction, more so than like get them to take action and have a button that says fill out a quote or give us a call. You have your phone number here, but like the first immediate thing, like let's say you actually get someone to your website. The first thing they see is our website is under construction. It's like, oh, they're not even ready. Instead, like just put a call to action there. And then somewhere in the middle, like you can say like, hey, our website is still under construction or something. But like if you get someone to this point, which is like the hardest part to do, give a call to action. So I'm just going to go with the website based on what I'm seeing. So here I see the September sale. Don't miss out. We're offering 20% off all our services for the month of September only. So I'm going to click on this and it goes to this. So already I can tell you, I see what you're doing because you have a cart feature up here, which I'm assuming you are going with like an e-commerce style service-based business, which I don't recommend, where I'm going to go through here. Okay, so I'm looking at your services, right? And you have interior packages. You have the Nooks and Crannies interior, the interior midi, and the ultimate interior. And with each one of these, you have separate tiers based on what that person has, right? So if I want, first of all, I don't recommend this because like what do I know between these three? I don't know anything. There's no context between what the difference are between these services. Now, of course, if I hover over and I read this little bit of text here, I see. The problem with that is it's too hard to decipher what each one has. So I have to hover over here, remember what this one says, hover over here, remember what this one says, hover over here, remember what this one says. So this one said a quick top off detail focusing only on the small details and hard to reach areas. A perfect choice to get that last 10% of clean in an already clean vehicle. Pair with some add-ons to build a custom package. Let's go to the ultimate. A perfectionist deep clean from front to back. The ultimate interior package includes almost every interior add-on available for lesser interior packages. Getting into every imaginable crevice inside the cat. That's just a lot of buzzwords. Like in one sentence, what am I getting from this, right? Like for us, when we offer our full interior cleaning, we'll clean your interior to the best condition possible. Like that is in one little sentence what it does, right? I feel like you're trying to make it too suave, like, oh, look at this service, like it's the most ultimate one. Don't go for like clever, catchy phrases in replacement of effective and simple. Okay, like I don't need to know these, like I don't need to know all these, like this long old paragraph. Like, what am I getting from the service, and what is it different? What's the difference between the other three? So let's say I wanted to go with the ultimate, and first of all, like it's very hard to decipher like which one is which. Like this one, you said it's for already clean interior, but the problem with this is like, what if I just have a specific stain in the back that I want, but I still want the other rest of the interior cleaned? That's why I'm not a fan of like these like e-commerce add to cart purchase kind of things. For some services it's not bad, but like interiors are probably one of the most popular service for customers to get wrong in terms of like diagnosing how bad it actually is, right? In terms of like, oh yeah, my interior is not that bad. All I need is a Nooks and Crannies because I only need that last 10% clean. In reality, it's 10 times worse than the ultimate interior, right? So that's why I'm not a fan of it, because it opens up too much gray area for confusion in terms of what they're actually getting. Or in their head, it's like, oh yeah, it's not that bad, but like in your perspective, for like what actually bad is like, oh yeah, this is really bad. So it just adds a lot of confusion. So I'm gonna just click on this, okay. And again, like this is just it's a lot to read. It's like, look at all these little bullet points, like it's just too much. So let's say I have I have a 3 seats row, okay. Continue. So then you go to, I guess, an upsell or a cross sell of a headline again. So this is very confusing. Like headliner resets. There's no other context to this. And like on the other package, you said it was you clean every crevice imaginable. Is the headliner not included in the interior? And then you go to excessive personal trash removal. It's like what you just said in the other one, that like you're gonna clean it to the as good as it can get, or it's like perfectionist. You're not going to remove my trash either. Like, so this is why it's very confusing to add these little things. Like that's why I'm not a fan of it. Okay. So no thanks. Okay. There. So now I'm gonna go to your cart. So this is why I'm gonna go to your cart, and then I'm assuming you're gonna be able to purchase that. I'm not a fan of this style of process, not for a local service-based business. Right. Because what happens is like they'll assume so much. You assume so much, and when you actually come to do the detail, those like what you see on the work order for what they paid compared to what they think they're gonna get based on what they purchased are two different things. So, I'm not a fan of that style. So let me just go back and go to my basics here. I'll give you that, and let's see how many words you are at, and you are 432 words. Again, I like to see this closer to 1,000 words. So there's not much content here. Remember, your homepage will be the most important page. So you need to make sure you have all your services on the first page, and not the full, like you explain every single service, but they need to know like that you offer the service, and like a 2 to 3 sentence blurb of what that service is, and then a button to that service. You also, since you are a mobile detailer, you need to also have mobile service area pages also linked on your homepage. Like right now, you're not interlinking at all, meaning, do you even have any of the service pages? Like I know you have services. Okay, so this is a downside. So because you're doing it in this manner, you don't have a dedicated page to any. Let me see. I'm trying to click here. Click. Here you go. Since you're doing it like this, you don't have a dedicated page that can be indexed in Google when you're doing it like this. So all these things here, all these options here. How to get out of here? All these options here. These aren't pages. These are, I don't know what they're called, but they're not dedicated pages where Google can actually index and crawl them and actually rank them on the first page of Google. So instead of doing all this, I would convert these services into pages. So I wouldn't do 3 pages. Like you might need 2 pages, your interior mini and your ultimate interior, meaning the ultimate interior is we clean your interior to the best condition possible. And the interior mini is your maintenance interior cleaning for already clean cars, right? You only really need those two services. For a quick wash, that could be a service. For your wash and restore, don't even know what that is. Includes paint. Okay, let's say your wash and restore, ultimate spa wash. I'll give you that one. I don't know what's included in there, but I'll give you that one. So you have interior mini, ultimate interior, quick wash, wash and restore, ultimate spa wash. So based on those, you can already have 5 different services, and each page needs to have these things. It needs to have 600 to 1,000 words in content. It needs to be interlinked across all your service and mobile service area pages. It needs to have a review. It needs to have a link back to your review, to your reviews page. It needs to have photos. And that in a nutshell, there's quite a few other things. That in a nutshell is what every page needs to have. Also considering your page title, your URL, your H1, your H2s. But every page needs to have that. So I would completely ignore this altogether. So if I go to, so this is your services page. Yeah. So with a website like this, which I'm telling you, 80% of business owners, detailers fall into this bucket, that their website ends up not performing at all in Google. Like you have a website, you put all this work into, having this cart system and upselling and checking out, but it doesn't actually generate leads, because you can do everything you want. You can make it look as pretty as you can and do all these features and click this and upsell this and order bump here and cross out here. And so if it doesn't generate leads, none of this matters. That's why I would scratch all of this altogether, focus on just creating pages that are optimized for Google. And when I say that, don't turn into a spam bot and let me see if you do it somewhere. Don't turn into a spam bot and just say, like, if you're in, see here, like, I'm assuming you're in Rover. So I wouldn't turn into a spam bot and be like, best detailing in Rover, check out our detailing services in Rover, mobile detailing in Rover. Don't focus your website around optimizing for Google. First, write for humans, then optimize it for SEO. Right? That's like the rule of thumb that I always teach, is because it's easier to just write naturally in a regular tone of conversation and then tweak certain things to make it optimized for SEO versus in your head, you're like, okay, Rover SEO mobile detailing, River SEO, River SEO mobile detailing, best River SEO detailing in River SEO. It becomes it just sounds spammy and like a robot. And like, yes, you can tell like it's for SEO, but there's a lot of, you can have 100 a fully optimized websites that sounds natural, that sound like you're just conversating with someone and or you're conversing with someone without sounding like a robot, without sounding like, oh yeah, you can tell he's trying to spam these words in there. Because that, like, you don't need to spam it, because that's so like maybe 15 years ago. Google's pretty smart now. It's pretty like comprehensive in terms of how it can crawl pages and such. So you don't need to sound like a robot, just keyword stuffing all these pages. But over that, like that's literally your entire website. I get it that you it's under construction, so you haven't worked on it much. But if you're putting a lot of your energy in this section right here, where it comes with your packages and creating these different tiers and selecting which rows and writing the content here, it's a big waste of time. And I'm not trying to be, mean or rude, but because over 9 months, if you follow this route, your website will still have no visitors to your website because these pages are not indexable. These pages are not going to rank on the first page of Google. Like the goal of getting on the first page of Google is because you have potential customers every day going into their phone and they're saying, they're typing in, I'm assuming Rover is the city. I don't know where that is. Is it in Colorado? Anyways, they're going to, and they're typing in mobile detailing Rover, right? And if your website is on the first page of Google, they'll click on your link. They'll read your content. They'll give you a call or they'll submit a form on your website. And then that can become a customer of yours. But when you're focused on the wrong things, and I see this all the time, detailers or not, when you're focused on the wrong thing and you're focused more on the aesthetics of it, the photos that you put, the colors on the page, like that stuff does not matter. And it doesn't have an impact. It doesn't have an impact unless your website is actually ranking on the first page of Google. Like, yes, it matters how it looks. Yes, it matters where the buttons are. Yes, it matters what colors you use. All that matters up until the point that you actually get traffic to your website. Short of that, everything else you do doesn't matter. I have seen ugly looking websites that you can tell haven't been updated over the last 10 years, but they're ranking on the first page of Google. And as ugly as it is, I can guarantee you they're generating leads from that website. Because for local businesses, you're not selling a software or you're not an e-commerce store, right? You're not breaking down a product where you need all these different pages and pointing at all these different features. For local businesses, for detailers, for plumbers, for gutter cleaners, for whoever, if you're a local business, accountant, law firm, dentist, your website can be much more simple than what you're making it to be. You don't need anything fancy. That's why I always recommend Squarespace. It doesn't have to be this complex looking thing. Static pages. Like once you create one template on your websites, you can use that template for the next 15 pages. So this one's going to be, hopefully that's a short. That's going to be it for this one because that's really all that there is for this website review. Hopefully you learned something. If I took this URL from the comments down below, so just add your website URL and maybe I'll choose it and maybe I'll do a video on it. So no guarantees that your website will get picked, but if you want me to go over your websites, leave it down in the comments. But that's going to end the website review right there. If you want a more comprehensive training on how to optimize your website for SEO to rank on the first page of Google, click the link down below and watch my free training on how I turned my website into a customer generating machine that took me from a struggling detailer to a fully booked out detailer. You'll find that link down below. Hopefully you enjoy these. I do like making these. It just sometimes the views aren't as great, and then all this work just to like have a couple hundred views. Let me know if you like them. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you on the next one.